Hello, Namaste, Sasrikal, good evening. Welcome to another episode and a very interesting episode of S.S.Chandhok Talk Show. I'm your host and moderator, S.S. Chandhok. Today, we have very eminent guests from the different parts of the country. I'll introduce you to these special guests. First of all, we have Meenu Chopra ma'am. She is the principal of DPSG Sushant Lok Gurugram. Ma'am, whose illustrious academic career spans over 25 years, has consistently shown her mettle by driving results, enabling her students to explore their full potential. She believes in investing her students with value-based knowledge and indispensable life skills. This has been her biggest bequest to her students, a legacy which has helped them to blossom into sensitive, strong, and successful individuals. Ma'am, deeply empathetic and affordable nature has helped her identify the unique abilities and capabilities of each student. And ma'am has such a long, profile that ma'am has, worked up with many institutions. She has a long career with associated with so many awards. So today we'll do it like this. I will not introduce much of the guests. Guests themselves will tell what they have done. Meanwhile, I'll come up to you. Please, you are a renowned educationist, and you had been working, so nicely and brought laurels to the education fraternity. And that is the reason you are a principal of a very prestigious institution, that is DPSG. Ma'am, please let us know about your education career as an educator, as a teacher, and then as an administrator.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Chandok. My major part of my schooling as well as education took place in Delhi. I attended Holy Child School, and for my college, I went to Miranda House, Delhi University. Thereafter, did my post graduation, completed B.Ed also from Delhi University, CIA, and then started my career with Jaspal Kaur Public School in Shalimar Bagh. That was way back now in, say, around 30 years ago. Subsequent to my marriage, I moved out of Delhi and then have served in various parts of the country. Coming back to Delhi, I joined Amity and been there for about 12 years. And Amity has been my grooming ground. Started as a teacher, went on to be a PGT there, then a coordinator, handling classes, came up with admin role. And thereafter, I moved to GD Goenka, and then I was at Summerfields in Gurugram as the vice principal. Um, I stayed there for about 2 years before I took over as the principal of TPSG Sushant. And
So,
I am enjoying my time here as the head of the school. And
ma'am, when did you join this DPSG? In which year?
this was last year. I
That's great,
joined
ma'am.
last year. Yes.
And you have an experience of so many branded schools, even so many good schools you have worked with. They have a name in the whole country. So that experience you might have shared over here in
It's
DPSG.
very enriching. Yes. It
And
has.
DPSG Society also has a very systematic way of learning, coordination among the principals and the collaboration of the teachers and the dealing. I came to know from the word from the other principal also of DPSG. That's
Right.
great, ma'am. Thank you so much and welcome, ma'am. May I know what are your hobbies, ma'am?
Well, I enjoy cooking a lot.
Oh, that's great.
That's
So,
a
so we
great
will
hobby.
do visit to you, ma'am, sometime.
Yes, absolutely.
We
Under good
together,
host.
rest of the six people sometime because Anu ma'am is also
Most
there and
welcome.
Neeru ma'am is there and Mayank is also there. But Suchita ma'am and ma'am,
We'll
three of
invite
us.
them over.
So we will invite. We have to come from far away, coming from Mumbai, Pune, and Kanpur. But I
We
will
are
come. I will
always
come.
ready.
We are always. That's great. That's like a good leader, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, and welcome, ma'am. Next, we have Shutita Malakar, ma'am. She's the principal of Podar International School, Mumbai. Ma'am heads the Cambridge Assessment and International Education. She always a quick thinker with a transcendent vision. She has founded the school and brought it into pinnacle of glory in the past 7 years. Being in the field of education since the past 25 years across all boards, including CBSC, ICSC, and the Cambridge Internationals, a keen learner even before schools could introduce the virtual platform of Google Meet and Zoom. She was actually the pioneer of e-learning. She redefined teaching and proved that thought disruption might being inconvenience, it does open numerous opportunities. So again, ma'am is also connected because she has worked also and because she's up with the Cambridge International, it's the Cambridge University she's connected with. So of course, ma'am, you are working, we are working on national level, you are working on international level. You might be connected with the foreign country schools, and there you get inspired how to use the e-system which we have started. So we are a sort of pure follower. So please, Suchita ma'am, please let us know about your career. And and you told us that you are the founder principal of this school, I suppose, from last 7 years. You are over here. So
Actually,
before
8 years.
this,
Yes.
8 years. So it might we have you have not
Actually, this has been going on since last year. Maybe
yeah
when you
yeah yeah
told me, I realized it.
yeah yeah.
Yes.
Even Miminu ma'am has written 25 years, but it is 30 plus. So now we are looking after the ages of the principals now when they are going to get retired, and we will make up a line over there that the youngsters should go over there. Although I am also now 50, so the people who are in queue at the back, they want to become administrator. They should stand up now that when we are going to get retired. And I have got inspired from Anu ma'am. I'll come up to Anu ma'am afterwards, but I have got inspired from Anu ma'am because I am not going to my known people and my relatives, my cousins, if they have their white hairs, that they are drying it. They are using dye or something like that. And when I saw Anu ma'am, since then I've declared everyone that I am not going to use any type of color or dye on my beard or hair. So dikhte hi nahi hai. There's no issue with us. We studies don't have problem with that. So ma'am looks so so young with the white hairs and all. लोग तो जबरदस्ती करवाते हैं फॉरेन कंट्रीज में कलर करवाते हैं मैम तो ऑलरेडी it's natural. You do not know how what age she belongs to, and it's a sin when you are talking about an age of a female, of a lady. I can't ask that even. So Chita ma'am, please let us know about yourself, then we'll come up to Anu ma'am.
Yeah, Mr. Chandok, I actually even I have a career which spans nearly 25 years now. I started with KVs, Kendriya Vidyalayas, if you all know, because my husband was in the army. So I traveled all across India, and I was a part of a very integral part of KVs and the army public schools. So that is where my entire beginning started. And then when I moved into Mumbai, it was by default actually that I moved into education because that was a field that was available in army network, army cantonment. When I moved into Mumbai, I was with Billabong again. Since you spoke about Billabong, I suddenly remembered, yes, I started my career in Mumbai in Billabong. Then I moved into a school called Pinnacle International in Malad. Then I am with Podar currently. So for the past 14 years, I'm in Mumbai, and these are the three schools I've worked in Mumbai. Before that, I was with DPS as well. Yes, DPS Ahmedabad. So it's a long span of schools that I have seen, and there's a lot of learning that I've taken from each school. It is very important to understand every school, every city in the country has a very different culture of education. See, there are certain things that we overlook and we feel, okay, this is a school that is provided to me. But believe me, there's so much learning in every school because children come from various backgrounds. The way I dealt with children 25 years prior, I would not be able to deal with the children in the same way as I'm doing today with Podar, because we have from, our generally gentry is from the elite lot, the corporate sector. So these kind of children are well traveled, seen the world. So dealing with them again is a very different challenge altogether. So as an educationist, I would say my primary strength lies in is the way I adapt to the environment. And I feel that is what is important with everybody today, any working professional. Adapting to a changing environment is very important. That's the way I look at it.
That's great, ma'am. And of course, you told about these students, they have traveled everywhere. But now, from last 2 years, the students of all the boards, it may be ICSE, CBSE, or state boards, they have traveled everywhere. Now they know,
Absolutely.
now they know that there's no limit for learning, and through this
Absolutely.
digitalization, they
Absolutely.
have learned everything. So now they are very smart, and
No,
they
but
teach
Mr.
us.
Chandok, there's a different way of dealing with them. That's the problem. See, today, but that's why I'm saying, since I've come from a KV, I've come from a APS, I've come
Yeah,
up from a DPS. See, these are the children who don't take no for an answer. The parent doesn't take no for an answer. Forget about the children. So it's like when you deal with them, it's altogether a different ball game in trying to convince them about
yeah.
something.
I know, I know. I feel that because I had been seen in the, Cambridge board, or or IB board. The students are much smarter. The parents are much smarter. They are having
Yeah,
their business in the foreign countries. Basically, the business is running over there, and they are staying over here. So they
and they
have lot
hover
of,
around us at all times. At least the
and
parents do.
their pampering is also much over there.
Yeah,
I had seen one of the schools here in Cambridge and CBSE board both. I see there that the teachers even know the students even they try to suppress the principal even. I mean, if you are not smart enough as a principal, although it is everywhere in every board, but here in I seen in IB boards also, the Cambridge board also, that it is a little different. The study material and the the syllabus and everything is so different, so many
yes.
subjects, because I had been dealing with few of the students when I was as a teacher. So I know about the board that is the entirely different. The system is entirely different. No matching can be done. ICSE, CBSE
Absolutely.
can be matched a lot. Only the numbering pattern is different, but you cannot match it with the Cambridge board. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome.
Thank you.
Next, we have Anu Arora, ma'am. She is the principal of SL Suri Devi Public School, Delhi. Ma'am is the head of the school since 2015, managing a team of over 80 staff members in a cohesion with a large parent body and administrative staff to operationalize the school development plan. She has a responsibility for the academic, physical, mental, and emotional growth of over 2,000 young students, spearheaded the digital transformation by enabling a 360-degree implementation of smart classrooms, Google for Education, and Microsoft School. Initiated the school's community service program, which now boosts of collaboration with the family of disabled, that is FOD, inspires the school for special children and Dev Yog skill training of adults with special needs. Ma'am is postgraduate in home science, Springdale Schools, Pusa Road, Delhi. She is trained graduate, science research fellow, ad hoc lecturer, Lady Urban College. She has worked with Springdales and many schools in the different parts of Delhi NCR, I think so. The first question I'd like to ask, ma'am, when it comes to even a single white hair, the females they move that the L'Oreal, at least the L'Oreal should come up with a dark brown color. I had seen in my family with my all the ladies and the oldies. What inspired you to keep your hair white, not to go with that? And that looks so decent. That's a very big compliment to you, ma'am.
So much, sir. But I guess I never really gave it much of a thought. I wanted to stay natural. I tend to use very few products for
That,
any kind of beauty aids for that matter. So I just thought, let's be natural. That's it. And be confident in your own skin.
ma'am, you don't need that, ma'am. And that's a compliment again. You and your daughter, I think she's your daughter. Again, there's a network problem, I think so. I think ma'am will come back. Ma'am will come back. Neeru ma'am, if, Anu ma'am, if you can join from your mobile. Yeah, she's there. Ma'am, you are there now.
Yeah, let me do that again. But it comes back somehow. कुछ हो रहा है यहाँ पे.
No
खरबूजा खरबूजे को देख के रंग बदल रहा है. मोबाइल उठाते हो तो लैपटॉप चल पड़ता है.
Achha, I was just asking, ma'am. She's your daughter, I think. What's her name? I just forgot her name.
So, in what relation are you asking? My daughter?
Your daughter is there, na? Who's a little young?
Sir, I have two grown-up kids, 28 and 27.
I think you have one daughter also, but you
Yeah,
both
one
of you.
daughter and my son got married recently.
Yeah. I saw the pics also. Congratulations to you, ma'am. Your daughter
you
and
so
you
much.
look like sisters. That is what compliment I want to give it to you, ma'am. You both looks as like sisters. Otherwise तो वो सफेद बाल देख के थोड़ा सा अपने आप को ठीक करना पड़ता है, नहीं तो लगता है कि दोनों बहनें हैं. You're okay, ma'am. Coming to up to the education, ma'am. You're just talking about this inspiration and Dev Yoga. What is this, ma'am?
Yes. Sir, Inspiration is a small school near my own institution. They are running a school for special needs children, children with Down syndrome,
Ma'am, if you can sit near the Wi-Fi router, I think you may have much good connectivity, or you can change the place where you're sitting, ma'am.
Development of sensitivity developed there.
Anu, ma'am, we cannot hear you properly. Am I audible? Just put your hand up if I'm audible, ma'am. Anu, ma'am. Yeah, now it is fine now. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you're mute. You're on mute.
I started taking my students there for small visits initially, and I realized they developed a very nice sense of empathy and sensitivity in themselves. Because going and seeing these children who not only have lesser means because they came from economically backward strata of society, and also they have these disabilities. I hate to call them disabilities. I rather prefer the special needs or the gifted children category for them, because I feel they are full of pure emotion. Because somewhere that unadulterated love you get from these special children is very different. It's a different kind of relationship you develop with them than with the other children. which are there in a school. Because if normal children, that means somewhere these special children are abnormal. That's why I'm not calling them normal. Somehow I'm against the terms we are using here. Who defines the normal, first of all? Who is the normal? Call them children. So these are some questions which always keep bogging my mind. I don't know, maybe I've worked a lot with these students because as you were saying, I have worked in Springer School for 19 years and it's also my alma mater. So my association with this school runs 30 plus years. And I have been brought up to be very sensitive to everyone and not judge people for what they are. It is very important to accept people rather than judge them. And these children I've seen, working with them gives you a lot of compassion, a lot of empathy, and a lot of sensitivity, which I saw coming about in my children. And they started going there, and some of them would come back with tears in their eyes. And why does God do this to some people? And I had no answers. Even I got tears in my eyes when they said this. So they realized that they are truly blessed. If everything about them is the so-called normal, then we are blessed. And I really love the feeling because I saw a change in a lot of my children. So we started helping them. They were doing craft and they were doing all kinds of things. They would play with, carry chocolates, toffees. And then we had to tell them, because these children are not supposed to have too much sugar, because that increases their energy level and can cause problems in their classes. So we had to actually sit them down and explain to them that you should not be carrying sugary sweets with you. Then they realized, and then they started carrying small tiffins with little snacks for them. So that's how we started this project. And then we started having, on the results day, I used to invite them over, or on my cultural programs, that they could put up an item with my children. And on the result day, they would put up a stall outside my school. I would not charge them anything or, ask them for anything. And we would put them tables and tablecloths and everything, and they would put up their counter and sell the products which were made by these children. And in due course, I started buying them, and the gifts from my school used to be these things. So that was my way of helping them out. And then slowly I got in touch with Family of Disabled. And they were making, if you go through their Facebook page or you check their website, you will realize they are also making a lot of things which they are recycling from old clothes. They take old newspapers and they make beautiful lead pencils out of them. And instead of the wood, there's newspaper wound around them. So it's a very eco-friendly kind of a pencil where you're reusing the old newspaper. So what we used to do was, all of us take newspapers for our children in school, the NIE and all. So we used to ask the children to give in the newspaper to school. We used to collect them in one room. And then once a week, their car used to come and collect those newspapers and take them. And then pencils would be made. And again, they would put up a counter with their products. So it became a kind of a thing that twice or thrice a year, there would be a counter up there. And similarly with Devudyog, it was just that I started getting connected to these organizations. Devudyog now works with the adults with special needs. In fact, they are selling their products on Amazon. If you check for ethics products, you will see they are selling their products on Amazon. They've reached that level.
Ma'am,
their packaging is beautiful. Their products are beautiful. And I love to buy from them. And I sometimes will bring gifts into my office. And I say, no, I will not take a gift. I would just pick up one item from the whole basket they would bring. And I would say, now I'm coming up to your stall and I'm going to buy it for myself.
That's amazing.
Because then what is the purpose of providing you a space if I'm going to whatever I could help in? We all do charity in our own little way. So I would suggest to the children, whatever you want to give, 10 rupees, 20 rupees, 30 rupees, whatever, one day's pocket money, whatever. And we used to have a fund, and we used to take a list from these organizations to what you need for your children. And we used to buy the products, and children used to go and give it to them.
Amazing, ma'am. Amazing.
Of developing that giving nature, the caring, and I think it's a very important moral responsibility of all of us to look after each other in society.
And Anu ma'am, I'll say a thing that you're not only helping the disabled people, we won't call them disabled, they're special children, as well as you're giving the values to the kids who are already in your school. You see the empathy.
Sir, I think value education classes से ज़्यादा ये important है.
ज़्यादा important, practical. Like other day we were talking.
नहीं सुनते हैं.
नहीं ma'am, like other day we were saying that we used to have when we were doing B.Ed. I was just talking about B.Ed. So we were doing B.Ed. So B.Ed classes when you are doing up now, you don't understand what is. You think it is all foolishness what we are doing over there. But practically when the teacher teaches or we teach, then we come to know that what is actually that classes were. But it's just like that. We are having value education classes. Instead of this, what thing you are doing it out of the box, what you are doing it. That's a commendable job you're doing, ma'am. And since long you have been doing this, the blessings what you are getting, that is the most important and the biggest earning you are getting from the people. That is why you remain so happy. That is, you remain so happy all the time. And you are this sprinkles, you're spreading it in the whole air and you're giving it to everyone. The smile on the faces of everyone. The children, the values, the only important thing. Like the other day we were talking, the man was also telling us that people do ask, man, I think you will agree. The people they ask कि इसमें किस स्कूल में क्या फैसिलिटी है, किस स्कूल में क्या फैसिलिटी है, they never ask कि किस स्कूल में मेरे बच्चे को ज्यादा वैल्यूज मिलेंगी. So we can also say a school like DAV school जो है, they also give so much values to the kids that they should understand the respect of the, how to respect. If you're respecting the disabled people, you'll also respect your elders also. This is what is lacking now with the students. I think everyone will agree. We try to give them, but what amount of values, we are not directly connected with the students. The teachers are connected. How it is going through us, through the teachers, to them, that is more important. And the wonderful thing you are doing, ma'am. Hats off to you and all the best to you for your future, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am. Next, we have Dr. Neeru Joshi, ma'am. She is the principal of Bal Bari Public Senior Secondary School, Modi Nagar, since 2011. Ma'am is also the director of Surya Academy 2016. Ma'am has worked with numerous schools, and she is also, a big, I am a big fan of her, and she is a very big YouTuber. She keeps on posting every day. She has so much energy. She gives energy to the people. Whatever Gyan sort of, videos she puts up in the, her YouTube channel. Once you're up with that, with 2 to 5 minutes, it's precise also. 2 to 5 minutes Gyan when you get enlightened. Dull, when you're feeling dull, you get enlightened. Neeru ma'am, we'd like to know about this Surya Academy. I've never known about the Surya Academy, which you started in 2016. Please let us know about Surya Academy.
It is the school of Mr. Agrawal ji. So he started the school in 8 years ago. So he wanted me to help. So I helped him, Mr. Neeraj Agrawal, as honorary director of this, because one principal cannot be director of another school. So I'm the honorary director of Surya Academy and principal BBPS Ghaziabad. And very happy to listen to Shuchita madam and Anu Arora madam that yes, we just need to work even when we talk about any school as a principal, as a director, our sole responsibility we have to keep in mind, and everyone is doing that we are born to serve the nation. Right. If we have this line that, yes, I am born to serve the nation, I have to speak correct, I have to think correct, I have to just, put here chip of D&D, do not disturb for the any sort of negativity, automatically, I think the society would be okay with that. Means that everyone has to take responsibility for himself or herself, right? So things would be okay. And everyone has the own learning style, as Anu madam said. So we just need to work for that. And yes, the practical knowledge is much more important. Some students, they learn by reading, some by writing, some by listening, some by hand-on activities and all. So a principal as a leader, because Principal, why principal? We say that this principal is great, leaders are great. They're not great because of their power, because they carry the ability with them to empower others. So we need to delegate responsibility to our team that yes, this is the vision of the school, and we have to just work to achieve that mission, that yes, we have to do this in this particular year. So this is how we can just bring the change, because we are the change makers only. And these days the principals are the agent of change. We call us as the agent of change. So I'm working as a director, as a principal.
And the third job also doing, ma'am, the values you are putting amongst the people through your YouTube channel also. I
That
mean,
is important because as you said, संस्कार, दिशा और दशा दोनों का ठीक होना बहुत important है. दोनों में से एक भी चीज गड़बड़ हो गई ना, Mr. Chandok, result would not be okay, and Almighty will not forgive us, because we are shouldered upon this responsibility to nurture the young kids. No, so we have to do that. और facility सुविधाएं दे दी, संस्कार नहीं दिया, तो भी education zero है, right? Diploma, degree, no one is about to ask that who is gold medalist. How we are talking, how we are behaving with others, how we are making our country strong. जो अखंड भारत की बात करते हैं, whatever, anything comes from that, how we are teaching and giving to our children. What the best you give to the world, best would come back to you. So this is, I think, we have to just keep in mind.
that's great, ma'am. All the best to you. And do you, I mean, that's a question also, 24/7 you work, I suppose, because you are looking after one school as principal and another school as director. At the very same time, you are, coming up with your videos with the values also. So that's great, ma'am. You are aware and you know that in whatever situation you are, you have to give your 100% to the society. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much for coming, ma'am. Next, we have Rupali, ma'am. She's the principal of she's the principal and a dynamic and phenomenal principal who knows how to lead difficult but critical important situations, goes beyond the day-to-day demands of her position to create an exceptional educational environment. With 7 years of experience in banking and 20 years in the education sector, from teacher to the principal, she has molded her leadership style of teamwork, efficiency, and the work ethic to keep getting better. Yet, make no mistake, ma'am is the best described as an inspirational leader. She has a way of motivating teachers and students alike to work hard, keep a good attitude, and be socially responsive. She believes in teaching is just not a profession, but a platform to be resourceful, thereby helping to push the community into raising responsible citizens. We welcome you, ma'am. Again, I'm saying a very big sorry to all of you that you people are associated with so many associations on national and international levels, as well as you have got so many awards on national and international level. It's very difficult to speak about the full, your full profile. And your esteemed guest, Rupali ma'am, please, I just read that you have come from banking sector to teaching. How come? It was by chance or by choice?
Uh, Thank you so much, sir. First of all, I'm honored to be on this platform, and thank you for having such esteemed educators. And I feel honored to be a part of the same panel and stand at the same panel as the esteemed guest that we have here today. Banking to education, it was by choice. I was an employee with the nationalized bank, yes, but then I quit it by choice, and it was a very conscious decision to move on out of banking into education. Yes.
That's great, ma'am. And you are working with this school since which year, ma'am?
I will complete 2 years with Trinity International School and Junior College, where I'm taking care of the CBSE school and the State Board Junior College as well, which is the grade 11 and 12 State Board.
That's great, ma'am. So you have worked with all the Pune schools only or somewhere else also?
Only in Pune. I am a total Puneite, born, brought up, everything, education, all done here.
Oh, that's great, ma'am. You have a long journey over there. So we'll be coming to you. All of us will get together and contribute to the beautiful place like Pune, ma'am. Without invitation, we'll be there, ma'am. Don't worry about that.
Please do.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am. Next, we have Mayank Jain. He's the founder and CEO of Easy Schooling. He obtained a degree in BTech from one of the most prestigious colleges in India, DCE. While in college, he founded a platform called Easy Schooling that would go on to become the largest admissions platform in Delhi NCR. He has helped around 20,000 plus parents in their admissions journey through his Zoom sessions. He also visited 2,000 of schools across India and consulted and guided them how to boost admissions. He knows the ins and outs of this field like no one has. Before coming up to him, I'll let you know that he's a very interesting person. Once in one of the session I was attending, and he was there as a panelist. When I came to know that this young boy, I thought some student has been called from a school that who has joined over there, and he has come up with from an multinational company. He wants to talk about that. And when I came to know about his thoughts and views, that he had so many offers from abroad for the jobs, as well as he has his parenting business, but something happened that it came in his mind that it should be made in India, and he should help the education system, bridging up the gap between the parents, especially in the the big cities where the parents are not able to approach, or they are not able to know about the good schools. He told me earlier also, I'll speak about that because it was very interesting, that people have in their mind that this is 60 years or 70 years, 100 years old school, and this school is from last 10 years. Let's go for this. Like he was saying that Sharma ji ka beta us school mein jata hai, to hum bhi wahi bhej dete hain. What that school is, you don't know about that. So this picture was never clear with the parents. This thing was being done by Mr. Mayank, as he has introduced a very good platform that I came to know. It was, as we are now oldies now, this was very new thing to me also, that easy schooling. But when I compared with Amazon and all the things which have come now, so we electronically or digitally it has come now. So even I felt this is the future which we are going to have pan India. Rest, Mayank will tell us. Welcome, Mr. Mayank. Please let us know how did it came in your mind to start up this venture, and what's great in this venture that people will get help, the schools as well as the parents.
Sure. So before coming to my introduction, so my co-founder Krishnakant visited Trinity International School. तो वो बता रहे थे कि it's on a beautiful place and इतना अच्छा environment है वहाँ पे, and like there's a car that takes you to Trinity International School. Like they have a proper facility. तो काफी अच्छा लगा मैम से मिल के मुझे, and सुचिता मैम से, तो सुचिता मैम and Neeru मैम are both are influencers, and I am being following them on LinkedIn. So they are posting something or the other on that, and like DPSG, abhi Trilok sir aaye the last time, so he called me in his office. So I went to DPSG Ghaziabad and I met him, and then I met the head, like I went to the headquarters of DPSG. तो काफी अच्छा लगा DPSG का vision जान के, and the person, the chairman who is leading them, so he's also there at Gymkhana there. So that's a great chain, and Annu ma'am को तो social media पे कौन नहीं जानता, so एजुकेशन फील्ड में तो सभी जानते हैं. सो ग्रेट टू मीट ऑल ऑफ यू हियर. एंड चंदोक सर ने ऐसे बताया, तो like I am young, I am trying to do something for the education fraternity. So क्या हुआ, मेरे friends, like when I passed out from DC, most of my friends were moving out to various, so I also had offers from Amazon, Oyo and these places. So I also, like I would have also gone outside, something like that. But at that point of time, my elder brother came back from USA and he was struggling with choosing the right school for his kid. हर जगह वही होता है कि ये स्कूल है, इसमें ले लेते हैं, इसमें लेते हैं. Word of mouth was a good thing, but सिर्फ उसी पे रिलाई नहीं कर सकते. हर पेरेंट यूनिक होता है और हर बच्चा यूनिक होता है, और हर बच्चे, हर पेरेंट के लिए स्कूल यूनिक चाहिए. जैसे अनु मैम ने बताया स्पेशल एजुकेशन वाली नीड, तो हर बच्चे की अपनी अलग अलग नीड्स हैं, अलग अलग ग्रोथ है, फैमिली का अलग माइंडसेट रहता है. सो हम ये नहीं कर सकते कि अगर हमारे फ्रेंड के बेटे ने स्कूल में लिया है तो हम भी उसी स्कूल में ले लें. तो वो वाला एक प्रॉब्लम था जो मुझे लगा, क्योंकि स्कूल एक बहुत बड़ा शेपिंग थिंग है. मतलब अगले 15 साल एक बच्चे को एक स्कूल में स्पेंड करना है, लाइक अ किड हैज टू स्पेंड. So they will grow holistically in a school only when they are provided with the right environment, right education, right set of teachers and everything. So you cannot just choose school by saying on the word of mouth. So us time I decided now not go to any corporate job, not going outside for any studies, not going to my family business, and do something to guide parents in choosing the right school. When I started visiting schools in Delhi NCR, Pune, Bangalore, Mumbai, I realized that schools are doing commendable job. So आप जैसे you all were telling about your schools, what you are doing. So these kind of USPs or these kind of things are not being made aware or educated to the parents who are seeking admissions actually. So that's a big gap in this industry. So we need to curb that gap and actually make parents aware about the things that schools are actually doing to help them do this. So this is something really important and I am trying to do a part of it. We all have to work together. So चंदोक शो का जो शो है वो काफी हेल्प करता है, ये जो हम सारी चीजें बोलते हैं अगर हम पेरेंट्स तक पहुंचाएं तो वो एक्चुअली में पेरेंट्स को हेल्प करेगा आपके स्कूल के बारे में जानने में एंड उनको राइट डिसीजन लेने में कि कौन से स्कूल में एडमिशन लेना है उन्हें.
You told me also that you have sessions with the parents also. Will you take the words of the principals also, to those who are in the discussion? Like today also, whatever outcomes will be here from the session, will take up to the parents and tell them that these are the expectations and these are the things which principal feel for the kids, for the favor of the kids. You should
Absolutely.
understand. So this is what very good thing you are doing.
So we also do 5 minutes interviews of like Sujita ma'am was there on the panel with us. So we do 5 minutes interviews of the principals, take those USPs, communicate it to all the parents over there. So that's really important for us to right now to educate parents to make the wise decision rather than भीड़ के पीछे भागने की जगह.
So you are not advertising actually the schools, but you are putting forward the real picture of all the schools, and it is upon the parents that in which school they should go according to their expectations.
Absolutely, absolutely, and not being biased, पुणे में ट्रिनिटी इंटरनेशनल स्कूल को काफी रिस्पांस मिल रहा है हमारे पोर्टल के ऊपर. तो lot of inquiries, lot of things are coming through our portal to them.
नहीं तो that तो ma'am will tell ना they are getting response or not. Ma'am, are you getting response? So let me know what he says, because Delhi NCR too, you are doing very good. I mean, you have shifted up to the city now with Pune and Bangalore and Mumbai also. That is good, because these are the big cities where parents even have to move for admission. They have to go for 4 or 5 schools to see. So it takes 15 to 20 days to move to these schools, and nobody has time. Everybody has money, but nobody has time now. Nobody. So they will get help. They can match also, because when you're going to the schools, you can't judge. Like you're going to buy any LED or anything, a mobile or anything device at a shop, you get half an hour or 1 hour to decide. But when you're sitting at the laptop with the device and you're comparing the things at your home, you get more choices with the things, comparative comparison you have. So that is the best thing what I felt when I compared it with Amazon. When you met me and you told me about this, so I thought about this, that is this right thing? So it came in my mind that when Amazon is giving so good facility, Amazon क्या करता है? Amazon ही करता है, पास की दुकान से या मार्केट से कुछ भी लेके आते हैं तो वापस नहीं करता, कहता है we'll exchange it, and he makes spaces. But Amazon or these type of places, they give instantly, they take it back without asking any question. After sales services also. So these type of things which have come into being, and I suppose, Mayank, all the best to you, because this thing is going to come in pan India. Slowly and steadily, people used to stand in queue for the ticket reservation even. Nobody stands now, it is done on the mobile right now. So everything has become digital, and I think this will become digital pan India after a few years or 2-3 years. That is for sure. And of course, you have to start with big cities. All the best to you. Welcome. We'll come up to the next round, and because we are in shortage of time, so we will request 1 to 2 minutes answer only from all the guests. Although it is not their question, it will be a suggestion from the principals, because you all are very learned. I cannot ask a question, dare to ask a question from all of you. We'll come up to Meenu ma'am, a very precise answer. What are your comments on the saying that reopening of schools has come up with a breath of relief, both for the teachers and the students? Ma'am, you're on mute. You're on mute, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Chandhok, for this question. This is something I think it has affected all of us alike. And I agree completely that reopening of schools has re-energized the sagging spirits of students, teachers, and all stakeholders. Along with the pandemic came the disconnect, because it caused many students to tune out of their classrooms. And in an effort to reel these students back into schools, schools have had to render that extra help and nurturing. So I would like to say that changing times have given rise to an emergent situation wherein schools had to respond sensitively, and teaching profession has withstood the expectations also as far as reopening is concerned. The power of the school environment has a different kind of an energy, and children and adults have undergone various physical, emotional, and psychological issues, which the reopening has helped to deal with. In fact, cases of, if you look at the students' mindset, there have been cases of depression, irritability in these past 2 years, as children were exposed to a number of situations which normally they wouldn't have been privy to. So, if it was, but on the other hand, if I say if it was a burden for students to undergo the education from home, attend online classes, then parents who have been working from home have also had their share of issues to deal with. Children have been clueless about their exams, and they have shown signs of lagging behind. But with reopening of schools, we see life springing back. And why I say this is because change is something which we all wait for, and we all wait for, and also something which sets or lends a very different kind of a tone to our lives. And there has been a welcome change for educators when we see our children around. And this change happened for the students when they came back to school, even for the educators. So if you look at it, there exists a sense of comfort between students, parents, teachers, as well as their peers, the friends who they came back and met. Talking about children staying at home, there were issues which the teenagers would have faced, and the issues escalated to a great extent. In earlier days, these kind of issues were being dealt with, was a shared responsibility between the parents as well as the teachers in school. But now it came to the forte of parents to deal with all these situations. Then there is an aspect of the learning continuum that was affected in a major way. Learning was restricted because it was through the online platform, it was teacher driven. There was a struggle to stay abreast, and the creative acumen could not flourish as efficiently as it had to. So teachers really did work hard to reinvent the classroom strategies, upskill themselves with improved technology. They also reinvented methods of supporting students through social and emotional connect. So all in all, I would say that all stakeholders have indeed breathed a sigh of relief with the schools reopening, and I really hope this situation is now here to stay.
Fabulous, man. And we say that man is a social animal. The elders, this or that way, they were moving out, but the kids were not moving out. They were inside the home for more than 1.5 years. So when they came up to the school, they felt a relief that now we are there. That day, the other day, Seema Negi ma'am, I think she was there, and she was saying, she was telling an incident actually, that a pre-primary child, after 2 years, when that child came up in upper KG, whatever we say before first, came up to the school after 2 years. So when she saw the ground, she said, "Itna bada garden." So you see, when a pre-primary child, that child got the admission during the pandemic, 2 years that child was at home. और सोसाइटी या फ्लैट्स के आसपास तो छोटा सा ही ग्राउंड या गार्डन होगा, लेकिन जब स्कूल का इतना बड़ा ग्राउंड देखा तो इतना बड़ा गार्डन. So that feeling amongst the kid, when they, when they come up with their, the kids of their own age, then only they feel that they are, breathing and living properly. And that was a sort of,
absolutely.
so
There can
that
be
was,
no match,
yeah,
no match to school life.
Absolutely
especially
right.
children have lost out,
Yes,
honestly.
ma'am. But thanks to God that everything has got controlled and kids have come back. We all are happy in all the ways. Thank you, ma'am. Next, we'll come on to Shuchita, ma'am. Ma'am, will you like to add something to it? Ma'am, you're on mute.
Yes, Meenu ma'am has generally spoken about what we went through at that time. I would just like to add is where the entire scenario changed overnight, be it for the fraternity as well as the teaching fraternity. So it was something which was actually unthought of for all these years. We never even felt that we would face a situation where suddenly we would all be cooped up in our homes and yet everything had to run normally. That was a new normal. So it was a challenge both for the teachers as well as for the students. But at that time, what developed, I felt, was the emotional bond that developed even on the virtual space. Because I remember having spoken to my grade one teachers. If you realize, there are two batches of grade one who have not seen a school actually, and primary school. They've just come in from preschool and they have moved into a big setup, but they have never seen a school. They are working for longer hours with their teachers who are teaching in a very different kind of mode, yet they have to connect. So it was very important at that juncture that the teachers connect emotionally to the student first before we move on to the learning platform. So that is something which I felt somewhere was a big blessing under these circumstances. I remember, I'm sure all of you all have faced this. Children have gone through a lot of traumatic experiences. I have had a child who has lost his father. I have had parents who have lost their child. So these kind of traumatic experiences we have all been witnessing. But how we have tried to bridge the gap, bring them close to us, be with them during these moments was very important, something that the pandemic taught us largely. In fact, the children largely were exposed to empathy, which actually was never in their language at that point of time. They are young ones, they're looking forward to life, they're full of energy. But suddenly they realize that yes, life can be so cruel as well. So those are deep learnings that I think went through every person, every individual. And it was a blessing in disguise. But yes, undoubtedly, opening up schools has opened a new avenue altogether. Something, because the new normal was now getting on nerves. Because it came up with a big bang, we worked large with technology, we did a lot of things. But once, 2 years down the line, it was kind of getting too much into everybody. As ma'am rightly pointed out, children were going through a lot of social, emotional setbacks, even learning. We can see a large learning gap between children who have come into school today. But sadly, everybody's paranoid. In fact, even today, I have a 50% attendance only in my school. We are running the hybrid model currently. So somewhere parents are still skeptical about sending it. But what I advise parents is there is a immense learning gap that has happened. So it's high time we move into the normal so that the children can actually face what they have lost, they can somewhere cope up with. So that's very important.
Absolutely right, ma'am. Because now they should send their kids. Lot of time has been wasted. The learning gap has been created. Although we had to put up double efforts during the online classes, but still that that learning gap has come into. So they need to remove this gap by sending the kids to the school. Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll come up to Anu ma'am. Anu ma'am, as we know that we are very happy that schools have opened and the teachers are happy, kids are happy. In fact, parents are also happy. So, but this reopening has come up with a lot of responsibilities as an administrator. So, what type of responsibilities have increased and how it should be dealt with?
Firstly, is the thing that regular stuff, sanitizing everything, keeping everything in order,
Ma'am, we don't believe that.
organizing classes
Yeah.
differently, because these are also things which are right. And we are talking about mental health today. A lot of questions are being talked about. A lot of people are talking about mental health and how it has taken a hit in this period. But I would add to Neem ma'am and Suchita ma'am, they kept saying students have suffered, parents have suffered. I think we as leaders should realize our teachers have suffered a lot. Somewhere down the line, we are forgetting that these are the people who are taking the brunt in a big way, because they are not only handling their own emotions, they are also handling the emotions of 40 plus students in their class and their parents. So I think it becomes a major responsibility of the school leader and all the teachers. It's a collective responsibility. I will not put it on one shoulder. That we become a support for each other. Let's
Amazing,
be
ma'am.
there for each other. That is the most important thing we can do today. Everything takes a backseat. The sanitization, the social distancing, the masking, everything. That is going to happen anyway, because we are going to be very careful, all of us. We keep scolding our children in the classes. Why are you standing together? Can't you speak from a distance? Let's do this. Let's do this. But then ultimately you feel, let's control it and let's be there for each other. That is the biggest lesson that comes from these 2 years. And if we are
Absolutely
there for
right.
each other, we can fight any kind of calamity, any kind of problems we face. So we are all in it
Absolutely.
together.
Resilience has set it.
A trend has been set, ma'am, and this has to be followed. As an administrator, we need a lot of responsibilities because we have to become high tech now. The children have come up with a very new, learning they have come up with within these 2 years. So
I
the
think it has
way,
shaken up the learning process, yes, but it has
yeah.
also
So
shaken
this
up our
is
values. It has shaken up the world in a sense. Maybe it has brought us back to our senses. It's high time we became more empathetic towards the human race. We were in a rat race. Let's not become rats.
so this is what has happened. But the change before the pandemic and now, drastic change it is now. Even the senior students, they are not attending the classes because if they are not liking the class of a teacher, they are not going to the coaching classes. Even they are just through the this electronic media, they are able to learn everything. So now, as an administrator, responsibility has increases that we have to become high tech, as well as we have to brush up our teachers with the new technology and all the different things they need now as a learning. They cannot go up with the way you said traditional way. They cannot go now. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Anu, ma'am. We'll come up to Neeru, ma'am. Neeru, ma'am, will you like to add up into this? Okay, what type of responsibilities have been increased of administrators?
Absolutely, as Madam said, yes, responsibility being increased, and yes, it was the time for children to learn new things, right? Because pandemic, when it gave, because once it was a challenge in front of everybody, but yes, we were trained in a way that we accepted, we took it as opportunity, and we all are here now with the happy faces. We are welcoming our children post pandemic. We are calling it the new normal. And yes, our children, post pandemic children, they are ready to face any situation, any sort of problem afterwards. Our children are ready for the future, unprecedented time. Yes. Now, the second very important point, that yes, the children are more likely to develop, worthwhile connections in person rather than online. We all know. And 1/5 of academic loss we have seen in one academic session. 1/5 of the overall loss we have seen. But we cannot say it happened with everybody. Globally, it happened. But now, yes, as principal, as director, chairman, management, we have to just speak with our children, one-to-one counseling. I think empathy, gratitude, caring, now sharing, I won't say at this very moment, but yes, caring at this very moment is very, very important. And that is more important than academics. Education will automatically come if you are mentally strong, emotionally strong, right? You're physically strong, fit, right? Automatically education will come, right? Only we have to just set an environment, and everybody, we all principals, we are trying, we have been trying consistently to make environment conducive to very, very smooth kind of learning to them.
That's great, ma'am. Fantastic. Fantastic. Uh, Rupali, ma'am, will come up to you now. it is said that schools after reopening will have to face a lot of challenges, particularly when it comes to mixed blend of teaching. What do you feel about this, ma'am?
Can you just repeat your question, sir?
Yeah, ma'am, we want to know your views on the saying that schools after reopening will have to face a lot of challenges, particularly when it comes to mixed blend of teaching. That is,
Yes, so mixed
yeah.
blend of teaching, I agree that when all the other panelists have also said that now coming back, and technology, I always say, was there, but we did not use it so aggressively that we have started using it during this time. And everybody has realized the importance and also the easy use and availability of technology. We've kind of now got more and more used to it, and though it was there, it was in the classrooms in the form of a smart board or things like that. But earlier it was that, stay away from the mobile. Now you're chalking out your class time, and you're saying that dividing on the mobile or the laptop, you're dividing classwork or learning time and game time into different ways. So it is a big challenge for the children also. Earlier it was just screen time and playing time when they use these gadgets. Today it is learning also and the other things also on these gadgets. So a very revised vision on these two. I think we will have to continue with this kind of a hybrid mode. Why? Because there's no going back on technology. It is here to stay. So I think a dual use of both, a balance of both is required, which I think all the schools are smartly trying to manage at their own ends, because you cannot give up technology completely, but the physical classroom is also very important, wherein every child needs that kind of exposure, that needs that kind of social environment, because it is not just coming to school for learning. It is coming to school for many more things than just the learning that happens in school. So I think, yes, these two ways it will have to continue with, along with technology and in the classrooms as well, both ways.
Amazing, ma'am. Amazing. You're absolutely right, because this mixed blend will help, because technology will be regarded as a tool which will help the teachers to teach them. Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll come up to Mayank. Mayank, Mayank sir, you have heard this, that technology has come into being, and you also told us before also that there were many parents, or you have seen that many parents that they did not admit their child in pre-primary, especially कि नहीं अभी पैंडेमिक है, जब खत्म हो जाएगा तब एडमिशन कराएंगे. Like these gaps were there. So how did you deal with the parents, these type of parents? Like parents have different expectations. Like other day he told ke that my child should be an ITN. Which school do you offer for me for that? So what are your experiences with the parents? Because you are sharing these experiences and you are counseling these type of parents, that is why it is becoming easy for us people, that we get the admissions, or we are able to communicate with these parents properly.
So I will divide this scenario into two parts. One is now the schools are reopening, so things are changing very quickly. So now we are seeing a surge of parents on our platform who are looking for schools for admission. So immediately now parents are going out for schools, and the other kind of parents that were there before COVID, or I would say before COVID or during COVID, काफी parents they were spending more on Swiggy, Zomato and these places rather than on the education of the kid. So हमने जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल वी डिड अ कैंपेन की एजुकेशन ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है एज कम्पेयर टू यू ऑर्डरिंग फूड फ्रॉम दीज प्लेसेस. एंड मैं एक पेरेंट से मिला था, ही वाज अ डॉक्टर हैविंग अ किड ऑफ 4 years एंड उसको ABCD तक नहीं आता था. तो मैंने पूछा सर आपने क्यों नहीं कराया स्कूल के अंदर एडमिशन? तो वो कहते हैं कि ऑनलाइन कराने का क्या फायदा, बच्चे को 1 साल खराब होगा, हमारी फीस खराब होगी. तो मैंने सर से पूछा, मैंने कहा आपने खाना बाहर से कितनी बार खाया था? तो उन्होंने बताया. तो मैंने कहा इससे तो फीस दे देते स्कूल की तो शायद बच्चा को सीख जाता. तो आई एग्री कि ऑनलाइन स्कूल इतना नहीं कर पाएंगे जितना ऑफलाइन स्कूल करता है. लाइक 60-70% होता है जो ऑनलाइन ऑफलाइन स्कूल का होगा. इट विल नॉट बी सेम, बट 110% what is it is there. It's important for parents to get enrolled there, get एक discipline आना, दूसरे बच्चों को Zoom पे देखना, वो सारी चीजें. तो उस तरीके से भी dealt with, but now parents have realized that अब ये pandemic रहेगा या नहीं रहेगा, जो भी है schools तो reopen हो रहे हैं. And I think in each and every place, be it Pune, Mumbai, Bangalore और Delhi, NCR, हर जगह अप्रैल से तो full on session start हो जाएंगे. दिल्ली के अंदर और पुणे के अंदर तो already schools start हो चुके हैं. So 1 or 2 months, if this continues smoothly, अगर सब कुछ smoothly रहा, so I think we will be back where we were before COVID.
That's great. And you do talk about the parents' expectations also. They want an IT child should,
एक पेरेंट आया
machine.
था, वो कहता कि मेरे को एक ऐसा स्कूल बता दो जिसमें एडमिशन हो तो मैं आईआईटी में हो जाए. तो मैंने कहा ऐसी कोई मशीन तो नहीं बनी हुई जिसमें आप डालोगे और बच्चा आईआईटी में निकलेगा सीधा. तो this is not possible at all. So वही एक
In fact,
expectation.
this often happens, Mayank. You have met only one parent. We are meeting every parent. The first question they come and ask us is, does your board suffice for the IIT? I felt like saying, I can't even see your child today behind my desk. First, let him grow taller and then let him sit in the class before we think about IIT. It's actually sad.
Now, these are the options parents, most of the parents, 80% parents have. कि या तो मेरा बेटा डॉक्टर बन जाए या तो इंजीनियर बन जाए, he has to become.
But अब चीजें थोड़ी चेंज हो रही है, मतलब things are changing, parents are becoming educated and parents are now asking questions to us like which are the progressive schools and which are the traditional schools. Now many traditional schools are adopting progressive schools curriculum and moving towards progressive schools who were traditional, and parents are actually willing to spend on education. So the parents who are educated are actually bringing the change, but I think it's still a long way to go, but yes, we are progressing towards the right direction.
I'll like to come in here, Mr. Chandhok.
Yes, ma'am.
Although it goes against my, being a principal or heading a school, because yes, what Mayank is saying is about getting admissions and encouraging parents. But then a 2-year-old or a 2 to 3-year-old, we all understand how much can he gain or gauge. In fact, in these cases, many parents who were working from home have really benefited or made the best out of this time with homeschooling. And the children have really come up well. Now the ones who are about 3 years of age are now entering school. So yes, but you are right.
That is exception, ma'am. That is exception because
yes,
before
but there is a
you
case
are
of,
talking. You are talking
also,
about you are talking about the child or the children who have to enter into the school. I mean, they're not ageable. When we talk about 3 years child has to enter or 2 years child has to enter. So the first 2 years, the child was scattered so much because the time was given by the parents because they were working from home. By the time it came for time to move to the schools have opened now. So those
yes,
children have got most benefited because they have got 24/7 parents with them.
absolutely.
So they got all the values. The school is, the first home is the home only, then you have school. So the learning starts from home, which they got much with their parents, especially who are working one. That
I think
was
you
a
rightly said,
but at the
parents काफी
same time,
important.
it's the parents' mindset as well. I mean, what are they seeking, and where do they see their child in a few years' time?
So it's like the triangle where parents, teachers, management, and student is the center of it, and all of them are contributing towards the holistic development of the kid. So parents also have to play an equal role as school teachers, and everybody has to play in this.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. So different expectations and different mindsets are of parents. They have very different questions we cannot expect even. This question can be asked like Shuchita ma'am also said, Anu ma'am said, and Meenu ma'am said that parents do ask, are you working parallel to IT? My child will be able to go to IT. So you can't see even the child, even he's a 3-year child or 4-year child or 5-year child. Let him grow also, let him जीने दो उसको अभी तो बेचारा सांस भी नहीं ले पा रहा है, you have to make an IT into him. So that is very important.
Rather, I would say let him develop his personality and let him develop
One
his
and the
interest.
same thing, ma'am.
Every child is an individual.
Right.
You have to treat them like that.
Why have schools come up with the extracurricular activities? Because if a child is not good at studies, very good at studies, the child may go into any field. अब सानिया मिर्जा के पेरेंट्स ऐसा ना सोचा होता तो ये 5 कैसे जाती, प्लेयर्स का हुआ. तो that is why
there are so many fields.
Yeah,
I think अब तो ना इंजीनियरिंग और मेडिकल को बैकसीट ले लें.
Backstreet लेना गया. Like we talk about commerce, I'm a commerce background, so commerce, nobody is doing CA now. Very less people are doing CA. They have come out with a different thing. So you don't never know. So many fields have come and in gone graduate on studies after 12th also. So many different courses, so many things have come that you have so much scope into that.
Sir, I think humanities has the maximum options.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. They have
Yeah.
most of the maximum options they have.
Yeah.
And even we have seen, ma'am, when the students they are doing BTech engineering, afterwards they are doing MBA. You're coming up to commerce. You're coming up to commerce. And students who are
But the
doing,
point is, I feel unless you recognize what talent you have, you will end up going into the field where everybody's going. And then
ma'am,
you
society,
suddenly realize I'm
yeah,
not at the right place.
you the
I
family
use
pressure.
this very often. Every child is born gifted,
Yeah,
and they just unwrap their presents at different times. And we are the ones who have to make them realize when and where that gift lies and when to unwrap it.
yeah,
So that
bilkul.
is our responsibility.
That is our responsibility, and the parents also have to understand that, ma'am.
Yes.
They have a lot of
Yes.
expectations. Let them live, let them breathe, let them understand
Yes.
what is their choice. Then only
The
they will
mindset
do
has to change.
right.
The choice has to
People,
shift from the parents' choice to the children's choice.
people had been saying since long. They have been seeing the movies like Three Idiots and all, but they are very happy with that. But they, they do not understand that. Okay, they should happen at their home also. Okay, he was interested in photography, and you are doing engineering over there. So what should be done? Whatever the child is liking, let the child go into that. That is for sure.
I think
Thank you.
all of us principals face this when parents come and say, "Maths nahi diya, zindagi khatam kar diya."
Yeah.
So, and I said, I have studied maths till 12th. When am I supposed to apply calculus and trigonometry? Please tell me. It's really, why? Why are we pressurizing our children into these things? If a child doesn't have a mindset for math, he's not inclined towards math, why are we pushing him there?
Absolutely right, ma'am. We have to counsel the parents and by taking so many examples, and then they understand. Yes, actually, you're right, sir. That is more important than how he's going to grow, rather than taking maths जरूर लेनी चाहिए वरना जिंदगी खराब है. You're absolutely right. वो सबके साथ होता है. It happens with everyone.
But this is the biggest argument I have with children, with the
Yes, ma'am.
parents. मैम
Yes,
आप
ma'am.
मैथ्स नहीं दे रहे.
आपने साइंस नहीं दिया, आपने कॉमर्स दे दी, कम से कम मैथ्स तो दे दीजिए साथ में. So that happens with everyone. Everyone. Thank you so much, ma'am. We are in shortage of time. We'll come up to the next round and request a 60-second answer, 1-minute answer from everyone. Ma'am, Meenu ma'am will come up to you. As a leader, what does it takes to become a leader other wants to follow? Because you are on a stage, or when you have, an illustrator, you are there since, I mean, in education also from 2-3 decades. So here the teachers want to follow you. You have seen people that they had worked under you, they have become the principals. So what should be the, that mantra that the administrator should have, that people should follow you?
Well, there is no set formula for this, but I assume that there are certain qualities that sets one apart. And if I am to begin counting on these qualities, then first of all, I feel one needs to relive the experience of living through someone else's role as well, because and by stepping into someone else's shoes or by going through the experience what others are going through, only comes fair judgment and objectivity. So as a leader, I feel the one is able to understand the problems and complaints of the staff, the employees, and also gives you a complete view of the needs and aspirations of each one of them. Also to say that this helps you build a strong connect and understanding, and because this is of utmost importance in building on human relations and personal contacts with your fellow workers. And after, I mean, once the stage is set with having the required understanding, I feel it's the grit and determination to make things happen, and which really leads the way. An optimistic approach, the hard work, perseverance, never giving up. There's so many qualities, but at this point, I would like to say that leaders are also supposed to be, I mean, they should be aspirational. After all, if the goals that you see for the growth of your organization, the they should be like in sync with the goals that that are your own personal goals as well. And having a certain what is it that you are seeing, where do you see the growth of your organization, then they are the certain skills that you need to brush up on or have in you. They have to be ingrained in you so that you can really yield results. uh, Also, then comes the knowledge, the skills, capable of someone who's capable of sound judgment, being fair and objective.
Yes, ma'am.
Also, with this comes the decision making, making the right decision at the right time. Uh, there are several of these qualities, but most important that I feel is someone who can deal with crisis. Managing crisis is one of the tasks that the principals really have to work on, and it doesn't come easy. Because there are situations which are unique. It could be once, or I mean, it could be a rare occurrence. The frequency
Ma'am,
cannot be. Hanji.
minimum, we can say that the principal should be like genie. क्या हुक्म है मेरे
Absolutely.
आका? Always ready for everything.
Ready for everything, and
We are
you
genies.
cannot.
We are genies. क्या हुक्म है मेरे आका? It may be the management. It may be all the stakeholders. They should be genies.
There are several roles, yes,
Yes,
that
ma'am.
you need to take on. No, not just academic anymore. Institutional governance, of course, is one of the major tasks that comes to the
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
part of your role.
Suchita, ma'am, would you like to say something on this? And very precise.
Yeah, I'll be precise. I'll tell you in one sentence. I just
Oh, that's
got
great.
this on WhatsApp the other day, which said employees do not leave the organization, but leave bad leaders. So, well, that is my only take on this. I feel as a leader, you need to be empathetic, you need to trust your stakeholders, and it should be vice versa, and you are in for it.
Perfect answer. Perfect answer, ma'am. That is why you are a great leader, ma'am. That you are given a perfect answer. And if I will say into one or two sentences, our principal should always have a smiling face, even tsunami comes. When you have and with the solution at the very same time.
Absolutely.
So
Do we have
there
an option, Mr. Chandok? First, you tell me that. Do we
Sorry?
have an option?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
The parent comes with such an unsmiling face that we
Ma'am-
have to get them to smile to us.
Ma'am, I told you earlier, I just not told, na, we are genies.
Yes.
Everybody is rubbing us and we are saying, Kya hukam hai mere aaka, with a smiling face. Genie never makes a face.
Absolutely.
Genie is always a smiling face. This is the quality of a principal, that you have to be smiling face even tsunami comes, and you should give a solution to it. This is what the thing, and love and empathy, share, caring should be there for sure attached with this, and you are going to do it, and the people are going to follow you throughout your life. And when your coordinators or teachers, when they are becoming administrator, you're feeling proud of that.
Yes.
I am a principal maker. I have achieved what I wanted to achieve in my life. Thank you, ma'am. Next, we'll come up to Anu ma'am. Anu ma'am, we say that with the introduction of technology, learning has become more flexible. So we need smart teachers for smart students. What do you say? Because already we have talked about this. When the students were coming before pandemic to the school, and now they have come. So the students are no more students only. They have become smart students now.
So they have become our teachers.
Yes. Yes.
So it is very important
Yeah.
that, as Alvin Toffler said, we have to learn, unlearn, and relearn. So this whole journey of lifelong learning should go on. And I think that is the most important thing a leader should have. He should never be ashamed or never hesitate to learn and know himself, first of all. Be self-aware. Do a SWOT analysis of yourself. Keep working on yourself. I think that is the biggest thing we can do. And it's not, we are all smart. Nothing is unachievable. We just have to set our minds to it. We are all lifelong learners. If we get that into our head, there is no end to learning. The day learning ends, life is over. That's
absolutely. Amazing, ma'am. Amazing. You have to learn till the last breath you are taking in on the on this earth. That is for sure. And this is the only reason. I mean, educationists like you have done laurels to the education. And those people who think that we know everything, they have put up their full stop to their career and their learning. They won't be able to get success. We have seen those who started up with when we started our career as a teacher or whatever it is, they're still there, and we have reached this place because they thought that we know everything. When you know everything, you are stopping up your future and you're stopping up your progress. That is for sure.
Because
Thank
learning is growing.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
If you
ma'am.
want to grow, you have to learn.
Yes, ma'am. Neeru, ma'am.
Yes.
So, what do you say about smart teachers for smart students?
Um, Teacher is mediator of learning. Teacher is controller of behavior of students. Teacher is organizer of curriculum. Teacher is a friend, guide, philosopher to them. Teacher is a confident to students. Unka vishwas patra, right? So the teacher has to balance between all roles. To me, every teacher can be smart if she or he has these kind of different roles, multifaceted roles a teacher has to perform in day-to-day routine. So how vigorously that person teacher is doing one duty and immediately you switch over to another one. So how flexible in switching over to another role as a teacher. Teacher should do the homework, and schools of hate depend on how effective and efficient their teachers can be. So it is very important that we need to understand, as Anu ma'am said, Madam Akkar said, and Meenu madam said, that yes, everyone has to work in a way. बच्चे आज से 10 साल पहले अभी प्रिंसिपल मैम ने यहाँ बोला था that 20 years ago, 25 years ago, how we were dealing a student. Now we cannot deal student in the same way as we were dealing 2 decades ago or a decade ago. Every day, So more responsibility to my first question. More responsibility, money, more responses, money. We can make more confident citizens. We can manufacture effective citizens. But yes, collaborative learning, collaborative stuff is needed. So only that teacher is smart, who can engage them, who can make them adaptable to the change, who can just make them don't to cry. As you said, in tsunami, we have to keep smile on our faces. So we need to tell them, that yes, this is the challenge, but please, you need to accept it. Only then you can do that. So we have to just work on the need, interest, concern, expectations of them, that how and why they are coming to school, the reason for them to come to school. So we just need to serve the purpose that we are, yes, born to serve the nation. And pedagogy, curriculum, we have to just plan in a way not to make it very hustle bustle sort of, very easy going. Just make them understand it. That's it. ये चीज है, ये पढ़ाना है, कैसे पढ़ाना है. ए फॉर एप्पल भी है, उससे हम कलर भी सिखा रहे हैं, उसे हम फ्रूट भी बता रहे हैं, विटामिन भी बता रहे हैं उसे, इसमें आयरन है, क्या है, कट कर दिया, हम बता रहे हैं, yes, ये 2 half, that is numeral. So how we need to integrate it so a smart teacher can do that.
Amazing, ma'am. Amazing. And we, as a principal, we have in last 2 years at least, we have proved that we have given our exams that we can work in any situation. Already, government has taken first term exam karwa ke, and second term they have taken our our exam once again. Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll come up to Rupali, ma'am. In the upcoming session, what we said that April 2022, parents and students' expectations will be much higher because of intervention of technology. According to you, what strategies should be followed by schools to deal up with the students and parents?
The strategies, yes, it's going to be a challenge because earlier also we spoke about technology has been used very aggressively. So that will remain as a part of the classroom, that will remain as part of learning, but also the lack of emotional and social skills that have happened. So those also need to be catered to. So the school should be looked upon not just to give education, but it should be looked upon as a social and a learning center, wherein both the things are happening together, because the child is coming to school for many more things, more collaboration, more sharing to happen, more exposure to various platforms and various things through activities that the school can organize. So then it can be a very enriching experience for the child. So we'll try to at least with a few percentages, cover the gap that the child has suffered in these 2 years. So we need to be actually, yes, smart teachers. So today the teacher and the child is on the same platform, and it is a give and take. Somewhere the teacher knows something. Today the child is also very smart. The child also can share and come up to the teacher's level and say something. So it is never it is the platform, it has come together. So we are at the same level, I will say. Thank you, sir.
Amazing, ma'am. Absolutely right. When we talk about smart students, smart teachers, because now the rote learning or the book reading will not go, because the students know the teacher is teaching right or not, giving the 100% or not. So the teachers have to do up a lot of their homework now with the intervention of technologies, with the use of technology for sure. Mayank, please let me, yeah, or tell us that you told me that there are many schools who do not need admissions, but still they are coming up to the platform. So what is their mindset, or what are their expectations when they're coming up to the platform like easy schooling or other?
So I will not take much of your time because we are already out of time. So I will quickly wind up by saying that we are not a marketing platform for schools. We are actually providing convenience to the school, to the parents, to apply to multiple schools. We are not over here saying this is the best school or this is the best school. So that's why even DPS Sector 45 Gurgaon, or be it DPS Indrapuram or Ramagya, or those kind of schools, और पुणे के अच्छे schools, तो सारे तरह के schools हमारे platform पे आते हैं because they understand. मतलब मेरे पास parents आते हैं और कहते हैं कि सर ये वाला स्कूल आपके प्लेटफॉर्म पे क्यों नहीं है, आप स्कूल को जाके बोलो ना वो आपके प्लेटफॉर्म पे आ जाए, हमें कितना इजी हो जाता अगर आपके प्लेटफॉर्म पे आ जाता. सो दीज आर द स्टेटमेंट्स दैट वी आर हियरिंग फ्रॉम द पेरेंट्स. So then the schools actually come at our platform and say कि यार इतना अच्छा convenience अगर parents को दे रहे हो और हम आपके platform पे आ जाएंगे, तो what's the disadvantage of that? So that is something that is why all the kind of schools are coming, and there is no big school or small school. Every school is doing their best at their levels to help kids to grow. So I cannot compare those schools कि ये अच्छा ये बड़ा है, but सब school अपना try कर रहे हैं, and every school should be showcased in a similar way at a single neutral platform to all the parents where they can make their smart choices.
That's great. That's great. And schools also, they want to showcase that we are there and we are a brand or whatever it is. It is not like that. They want to have admissions or anything like that. That is for sure.
Yes.
All the best
And
to you, man.
you had said, sir, in the beginning, it is actually the easy schooling has helped my school a lot, and I'm happy to be on the platform. So
That's
this is me giving honest feedback towards the platform.
Oh, that's great, ma'am. You have given a feedback, because to say it is good, but having word from others, you will get to know actually what it is. I had also been talking with few of the principals of Delhi, NCR, other places also, and they told me practically that it is becoming helpful to everyone for to showcase
Yes,
that.
yes, it is. It
And
is.
and coming up, all the best to you, Mank, and hopefully we all are with you. And because it came into my mind that somewhere he had been our student and he is working up for the education society, and we should help him and we should cooperate with him, because instead of going abroad for, instead of doing brain drain, he is doing started up with the you make in India. All the best. Now coming up to last 5 minutes of the session, a very surprise section where everybody has to sing two lines, and it may be a filmy, dharmic, original, anything. And startup will be done by Dr. Neeru Joshi ma'am. And by that time, everybody will think over that what two lines they are going to sing. And Anu ma'am is also a very good, she's in very good in dancing also, but she's very good in singing also, Anu ma'am. The second
Only
number will
one.
be,
Yeah,
we'll
only
start
one
up with
line. Neeru.
two lines, ma'am. Two lines. We won't allow
Only one
three.
line. One
चले
line.
चले चले चलिए की line सही पर.
A teacher affects eternity.
Ma'am, song, ma'am. This is quotations we don't need. No. When you are giving something at the Teachers' Day or Children's Day to a teacher के यार को perform करना पड़ेगा, तो उस teacher को धक्का देके हम आगे कर देते हैं, उसको बोलना पड़ता है, गाना पड़ता है. So this is a situation like now only that you have to do this.
नमस्ते शारदे देवी वीणा पुस्तक धारिणी विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि प्रसन्ना भव सर्वदा.
That's great, ma'am. That's great. Because see, this is a weekend and we are not on a session or a show This is the get together of the principals, by the principals, and for the principals. And we are having a, knowing each other, as well as we are discussing about the topic, and we are having a little entertainment, because सबके जो है हर we don't grow above 18, because when we are in school, अनु मैम you'll agree also, कि जब हम स्कूल के अंदर होते हैं हमारी एज 18 से ऊपर नहीं होती है, और हर किसी के अंदर एक बच्चा होता है, और एक गाने का तो वो अंदर सबके अंदर होता है कि we have to sing. Nobody is a good singer. Anu ma'am, your turn, ma'am. Anu ma'am, it's your turn, ma'am. Network is proper right now. 2 lines.
Another mantra for you.
Ma'am, please, ma'am, I'll go and stand up in the temple right now.
नहीं सर, सर मैं तो बिल्कुल गायत्री मंत्र बोल रही हूँ.
अच्छा मैम, बोलिए मैम.
ओम भूर्भुवः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो प्रचोदयात्.
That's great, ma'am. But whenever you're coming next, ma'am, we'll expect for a song. आप इतना अच्छा डांस करती हैं. You dance so well and you sing also, I know very well. I have done a lot of research on you. This way we have done today, ma'am, but the next time we won't leave you. Suchita, ma'am, you are from a glamorous city of Mumbai, and as well as you are working with the Cambridge. So, matlab, we don't expect any temple sort of, atmosphere over here now. Only 2 lines, ma'am. We'll
Mr.
get
Chandok,
inspired.
I think because I'm a principal, I still did not leave the meeting. Otherwise, what you actually asked for, I would have shut down and run away from this meeting.
Ma'am, this is the reason. This is the reason I'm not telling it before, because you people will not join. But when you will join and you will do this, afterward you will feel very good. You have a child. Everyone has a child.
I literally went into Google to see which song I can actually sing. I have never sung in my life, to be honest. I think after school ये पहली बार कोई मुझे मतलब सुनेगा गाना भी गाते हुए. It's like that.
This is me time right now.
Chalo, let me just try, okay?
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
This song actually fascinates me, and it's something very close to my heart. That's the reason I'm trying it out.
Yes, ma'am.
ये जीवन है, इस जीवन का यही है, यही है, यही है रंग रूप, ये जीवन है. That song.
Amazing. You are a very good singer, ma'am.
Oh no, please.
You should go for Indian Idol, ma'am.
Oh my God, Mr. Chandok, please, you can remove this part from your show. I'll be indebted to you.
Ma'am, when your followers, when the people who appreciate you, when they'll see this episode, they will feel proud of you, that you are all round. We know you are all rounder, but now they'll know that ma'am has sung now. Meenu ma'am, your turn now. Rupali ma'am, please get ready with that.
This is something which, again, as Suchita just said, has never been done, but I don't know. Okay. इतनी शक्ति हमें दे न दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना. इतनी शक्ति हमें दे न दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना. हम चले नेक रास्ते पे हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना.
Amazing. That's great, ma'am. Meenu ma'am, you're also what you call in Hindi Chupa Rustam. You sing so well, ma'am. I mean, super talented principals, leaders are over here. Ma'am, your turn now. Rupali ma'am.
So when I start singing, your show will just go off air, everything. It is going to be very bad, but I would just...
Rupali ma'am, when it didn't go when we sang, so everybody can sing. I'm motivating you with that at least.
We just lost, thank you so much, ma'am. We just lost a great personality amongst us. And yes, the entire nation was in sorrow when we lost her. And yes, a golden voice that was national support, and she kept her melodies throughout. So yes, a tribute to her and also to all of us. So the song that was there, naam gum jayega, चेहरा ये बदल जाएगा, मेरी आवाज ही पहचान है, गर याद रही. Thank you so much.
Amazing, amazing. I mean, every principal is such a good singer, and this is the specialty of the show. That the super leaders, I don't call leaders, the super leaders are always here on the show, and I'm the the richest because I am learning, the learning and earning in every episode. Thank you so much, everyone, for sparing up your valuable time. To Meenu ma'am, Rupali ma'am, Neeru ma'am, Suchita ma'am, Anu ma'am, and Mayank sir, that you have spared your time, your valuable time, and hope you enjoyed, you learned, and you had shown your, valuable thoughts you have given today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Nice meeting you all,
Thank
and
you,
hope
everyone.
to
Thank
see
you.
you again.
Nice meeting everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.